What do we think of the tariffs, guys? Let's get to it.
Run them up.
You don't mean that.
Run them up.
You don't mean that.
Ain't no way you mean
I mean it.
I'm here for it. I'm here for the discussion.
I mean it.
Talk to me.
Run it up.
Okay.
It hasn't affected me yet.
Because you got money.
No, because I tell jokes.
Yeah.
But
Once, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I had a clothing business, I'm sure I'd be immediately impacted. I haven't bought clothes since.
Microphones cost money, but it affects.
We bought those.
But you're not on tour right now, but it does affect the people who are coming to your shows.
Yes, 100%. I mean, obviously, I'm being hyperbolic. But, like, I think what is happening is people who are more downstream, i.e. me, you, we're not immediately hit by. Some of my friends are in the clothing business, and they're like, dude, like, I won't even have a business if there's 104% tariffs. Like,
It's 125 right now.
It went up again since the
It
pod?
went up again.
Yeah.
Because Trump,
Because he paused everybody else's tariffs, but China was trying to act tough.
But you know why he paused everybody else's tariffs?
Art of war.
No.
Use their books against them.
No, because you paused everybody else's tariffs because most everybody else, that impacts the big boys. The big boys probably was like, hey, you fucking with our money.
I think
The Chinese mess with the smaller consumer.
I think he paused everybody else's tariffs because they all came to the table, and none of them did reciprocal. The only country to do reciprocal is China. So he's like, all right, your shit not going anywhere. I'm going to negotiate with all these other countries, and we're going to freeze your ass out. Because all they could have come to the table, they could have come to the table and be like, you know what, that's right. It is weird that there's no tariffs in this direction, and we tariff you. Let's have a fair tariff exchange. But instead, they upped it. Somebody already fucking you, and then you go, I want to make it even,
China
and they
not
fuck
pussy.
you harder? Say again?
China not pussy.
I think it's because we don't get oil from China. I think that's the reason why. It's easier to come to the table about basic goods and not about the thing that's really going to affect the country in a major way.
The basic goods are going to affect us because the regular everyday people are going to be getting hit in the pockets.
Yeah, but he's already elected, so.
But you can't make it worse. If you ran on groceries and making the economy better and making life easier for people and pointing at Joe Biden and the Democrats and saying they're making your life hard, you cannot make nobody's life hard.
But groceries aren't going to go up because of China. We don't buy groceries from them.
Consumer goods will. It's a lot of goods that are going to go up.
We're talking about
Pull up some of the goods.
Talk about clothing, toys, or whatever. Like, yeah.
Electronics.
But not
this
groceries.
country, laptops, tablets.
Yeah.
Hair, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of shit that's going to go up. Pull it up, Taylor.
Hold on.
Hair
Taylor found out.
nowhere.
Taylor found out.
But she's right. But electronic and laptops, this
You
country.
get that shit from India, Taylor.
Do you see how Chris almost panicked when he lost his phone thinking he had to pay $12,000
I know.
for an
I saw it. I saw the panic in his eyes.
You know what I mean? He started patting his pockets like, what you gonna do now? Like, here's which grocery store items. Hold on, slow down, Taylor.
I'm not buying no Chinese bananas. Get out of here. Fuck out of here. You never seen a Chinese person with a banana, bro. I'm not buying no Chinese bananas. I'm getting bananas from Central America. That's where
Chris,
bananas are from.
From China originally.
What?
Bananas are from China originally.
Because they look like a thrown.
Yo, what is going on? Yo,
That's what nunchucks were originally made out of.
This is racist. Why are you making us think this shit? You know we're not mature enough to have this
Give a
discussion.
blanket. I don't condone all the casual Asian racism. This
But you're the one promoting it.
Asian racism, Chris.
yeah.
God damn.
You said that.
Chucks and throwing stars are Japanese. I would just.
I never said throwing stars. I said throwing, and then he said nunchucks.
You never got mad at the Ninja Turtles, and they would have been culturally appropriating forever.
Forever. Japanese
And
culture.
Italians. How did Ninja Turtles get away with that shit, yo?
Both cultures.
Yeah.
Both.
Okay, the foods Americans eat are part of a complicated global supply chain. Scroll up, Taylor. Let's see.
Well, I just
Appreciate it.
Googled.
No, Google China.
Okay.
China's the only person that China's the only person that
Yes,
got the tariffs.
Ain't nobody
right
getting
now.
food from China, bro.
Bok choy.
Yeah, we'll live without the bok choy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
I'm like,
What about tablets and laptops? That's
We're good.
That's
We're
your
good.
whole
We're
life.
good. Well, you buy one of those every few years. What
Yeah.
the real concern is clothing and these other items, or like screws and a little electronic shit that isn't manufactured here. That's the stuff. But that's also the reason why the tariffs are there. It's like, yo, if we can't build our own submarines, we got to do something about that. If we can't make our own pharmaceuticals, we got to do something about that. We couldn't get a mask during COVID. No, think about that. We couldn't get a mask during
Whose fault
COVID.
is that, though?
I mean-
that's America's fault because they want to focus on bullshit all the time. Everybody want to be a star. Everybody wants to be a comedian. Everybody wants to have a podcast. Everybody wants to have a YouTube channel.
Nah, we're doing dope.
Focus on some skills.
We just made some wolves.
We did make wolves, the dire wolves. I actually don't think we made it. China made that.
Oh, see?
You see what I'm
They
saying?
brought back an extinct species.
Like, yeah, we don't produce anything. That's the other
What do
thing.
they produce?
Who? see, you're doing it again.
What am I doing?
You're doing it again.
I'm not
You don't
doing
have to
it.
do it. Chris just told you to stop it.
Fine, we're gonna put a GG pin in it. So come on, Chris, we cooking, bro.
Listen,
We cooking.
what products does China import from the U.S.?
All of the soy.
Oil seeds? You said there was no oil in China, right?
I mean,
Nah,
you
they
know
don't
what
really
I
got.
meant.
They don't got oil, bro. They don't got
No, it does. Look,
They don't got
Chad,
oil.
Oh,
look,
he's talking.
oil seeds and grains, followed by
Shea
oil.
butter?
Followed
There's
by oil.
no
and
shea
gas.
butter in China.
Look, it said followed by oil. China's top imports from the U.S. in 2020.
soybeans.
Oil seeds and grains,
Yes.
followed by oil and gas.
Exactly. They need our shit.
Yeah, no, I'm saying we don't import that from them.
Exactly.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
we're low key good. They need us to buy shit.
No,
They
I want
make
the other
shit.
one. Yeah, Taylor, give me the other way around.
Shauna, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Okay, we have a saying in America, I don't know if this exists around the world, but the customer is always right? The power's in the customer's hands. Because if you got a business,
I
nobody
agree.
wants to buy that shit. We are the world's customer. We have a $31 trillion consumption habit a year, whatever. 20 trillion of that goes to buying goods from other countries, and we weren't charging them nothing to have access to that wallet.
I would have.
They were charging us.
Listen, I would have no problem with the tariffs if we weren't the ones who had to pay for that shit.
Well, here's the thing.
And I need to know what it is exactly we're paying for before I'm like, okay, this is cool.
I think that's a fair question, but I would pose this to you, right? Let's say, for example, we get these tariffs, and people have made a lot of big deal about this. Like, why is there a tariff on Lesotho or whatever? There's an African nation like in the middle of the Atlantic or something.
Or the place where they got all the penguins.
Exactly.
No humans there.
Here's why. Because what used to happen was you would make some shit in China, they would send it to Mexico. Mexico would stamp it, made in Mexico, and then there was no tariffs from Mexico to America. So basically what they did is they go, all right, everybody's going to get a baseline 10% tariff so that you can't do that little fugazi and find the arbitrage. So there are certain things that like they don't look like they make sense and they're a lot of fodder for headlines, but in reality, I think they do. I think it's all about getting people to negotiating table. And if it ends up working out, there's a world where like these tariffs that we put on other countries could generate like $750 billion, right? If that happens, and then they say, we're going to eliminate income tax for everybody making under $150,000. How would you like that?
It sounds like a pipe dream.
All right.
Yeah.
It sounds like
If they pull it off, though, I'll tour less.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
if everybody making under $150,000 no longer has to pay income tax because that money is generated by the tariffs.
How much are you saying they're going to generate?
There's been some analytics done where it could be up to like $750 billion.
How much do we owe China?
Trillions.
But you're talking about trade deficit. Owing money is not a bad thing. Like America owes me because I bought treasury bonds.
He'll never lower the deficit. He'll never lower the deficit by doing the tariffs. That's just not going to happen.
I don't think they're trying to even pay off the debt. I've never heard of, America going, oh, yeah, here's a little bit on what we owe you. It's not
Not what we do.
It's not what we do at all. It's like, you want to fight about it? No, you don't want to fight? Cool, then we just owe you.
Most people don't even understand like what the debt is. It's like you invest in America, you buy these treasury bonds, and America goes, yo, we're going to pay you back 5% on that thing you bought. So debt isn't a bad thing. It's not like they loaned us money. They're investing in America, and then we owe them when that debt ends up. We'll owe them every year this percentage, and that percentage hopefully is eradicated by the growth of our GDP.
Would you like to know the top U.S. imports from China, guys?
Yes.
Electronics and tech. So phones and smartphones, computers, laptops, tablets, TVs and monitors, computer components, everything that's in this room, basically. Alex, you might as well shut WTF Media down. Machinery, industrial equipment, electric motors and generators, semiconductor machinery.
Yep.
That's what U.S. factories damn near rely on. Furniture and home goods, sofas, tables, beds, chairs, lighting fixtures, home decor, toys, games, and sports equipment, textiles and apparel, clothing, footwear, fabrics, yarns, and raw textile materials, plastics and chemicals, plastic containers, kitchenware, industrial plastics, fertilizers, auto parts, tires, engines, battery parts, medical equipment and supplies. So that's everything from masks and gloves and gowns to surgical instruments, thermometers. Like, what are we talking about?
Nobody else can make make that shit?
Clearly not. If they could, we wouldn't be buying it from China all these motherfucking years.
Well,
One, I think, if we get, I don't know, the right infrastructure, a lot of that stuff is replaceable. But two, if you got a DIY
How soon
page,
before this infrastructure gets made, though? See, the conversation that kills me when they talk about it's going to bring manufacturing back to America. First of all, it's going to take several years to build factories in America. Yep. And in 5 to 10 years, it's not going to create no new jobs because it's going to be robots running every motherfucking thing anyway.
But it's more about national security than it is about creating jobs.
There you go.
You need to be able to create your own submarines. You need to have an assembly line. You need to have the manufacturing capability to create the devices that protect you. And if you don't, you're in a real liability when it goes to global war. We couldn't even we didn't even have masks during COVID.
Whose fault is that?
They made
no. It's America's fucking fault.
So how do we fix it?
That's what the question.
So how do we fix it?
Then?
We have to incentivize.
We gotta be more like the Chinese. We should be focused on discipline.
That's how we doing it.
We should be focused on discipline. We should be focused on education.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We should be focused on eating healthy.
Yes.
It's really the truth.
They tariff us, so we should tariff them back. That's exactly what we should do.
But
we should do what they do.
That's not going to raise the skill set of Americans.
But why is that so crazy? If other countries
DIY pages.
What does DEI have to do with this?
I said DIY.
DIY?
Yourself. Like everybody, yeah.
Okay.
And you can learn carpentry on the internet.
See, that's the problem.
Yep.
You ain't gotta wait.
That's the problem.
The problem is how you gonna watch it because the tablet's gonna be.
TikTok is done. TikTok is done. Tablets are done. Laptops are done. TVs are done.
You're not gonna get a new phone every year. Boo hoo. You're gonna have to save your phone for 2 years, 3 years.
You know what? You would say that after your special comes out on Netflix.
I don't get a new phone until the buttons fall off.
You done made all your money. Remember when it was turn your phone to the side? Now it's like your phone. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I mean?
Don't tariff China, man. You guys gotta take those back, bro.
Don't tariff anybody.
Well, if we weren't tariffed, then we wouldn't need to tariff.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't even know what the tariff was until,
I agree.
Last year.
None of us know. It's like like fascism.
None of us knew this shit was going on.
We don't know fascism either. We just say it.
I know what fascism is.
But what do you really? I don't. Exactly. If you don't like somebody, they're fascist. Like I called my wife a fascist the other day.
Wow.
I didn't even know what.
Did she deserve it?
Maybe. I don't know. I just said it. It seemed like the right thing to say. You know?
Yo, fascist is like beyond meat for that word, though.
What do you mean?
You know the word.
You know the word. Stop playing. You know the word.
Fascist. Fascist.
You fucking
What type of
fascist.
fascism is
What type
this?
of fucking fascist?
Yo, did you see Gayle King?